Now, really, what you talking about? I mean, this is not a game here, okay? In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about emergency loans without income proof. How do you quickly get a large amount at a reasonable APR? Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation, I guarantee you. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about emergency loans without income proof. How do you actually get a quick, large amount at a reasonable APR? First thing first, you need to know the lenders that provide that kind of loans. Because when we talk about emergency loans without income proof, you don't have a lot of lenders who are just sitting there and saying, we want to fund you. No, you have a specific set of lenders that will take that risk, okay? So number one, you have Money Mutual, and they will give you short-term loans up to $5,000. This is really good. And when you think about Money Mutual, you got to think about an online marketplace of lenders. They're not a direct lender. They are a marketplace lender, okay? But they will fund you within 24 hours. This is really good. And they have a simple online form that takes about 3 to 5 minutes to fill. This is really good. And the only thing is they are not available in New York or Connecticut. But the maximum loan amount here is $5,000. The second player I want to introduce you to is cashusa.com. On this platform, you can borrow from $500 to $10,000, okay? And you can receive a loan decision in minutes. What we love with this platform is the fact that they were very flexible and they were really fast. They actually take care of the whole definition of emergency, okay? And here, so the loan amount goes from $500 to $10,000. The APR goes from 6% to 36%. Loan term 3 to 72 months, okay? And this is really good. And we love the fact that you can use the money for any purpose. They don't really track that. The third player is Bills Happen. And here you have quick loans up to $5,000. And here, this is not a direct lender. This is a marketplace lender. So you submit one form and you get multiple options, okay? And they'll take care of all kinds of credits. And they don't ask for a proof of income. Not a problem. But they do require you to have a bank account. And they do want you to have a social security number, but your FICO doesn't matter that much. And on this platform, you can borrow from $500 to $5,000. I want to share with you three other lenders that do a great job that we have here. Creditloan.com. So folks, I want to explain to you how to get a quick and large amount when we talk about emergency loan without income proof. But I first want to acquaint you with the lenders that provide those types of loans. Very important, okay? So I talked to you about, so now let's talk about creditloan.com. On this platform, you can borrow from $250 to $5,000. And the cash is deposited directly into your account. So you can get your money within 24 hours. This is really good. Whether you have bad credit, no credit, doesn't matter. You have income proof, no income proof, doesn't matter. $250 to $5,000. And then you have badcreditloans.com. On this platform, you can borrow from $500 to $10,000. Okay, and here the APR goes from 6% to 36%. The loan term 3 months to 60 months. And then you have another lender that's personalloans.com. And this is actually the platform that offers the most money in terms of loan generosity, if you want to call it loan generosity. So you can borrow from $500 to $35,000. And again, this is not a direct lender. This is a marketplace lender. They have a larger lender network. You're able to get a fast loan decision, and you can use the loan for any purpose. You can get funded within 24 hours, okay? And the loan amount, as I said before, goes from $500 to $35,000. The APR goes from 6% to 36%. The loan term, 3 to 72 months. One thing I want to say here is that all these 6 lenders, they are basically helping you with emergency loans. But you want to be in a position where you don't use emergency loans all the time. Because we have a problem, boss. We have a problem. If you're constantly taking out emergency loans, that means we have a bigger problem. And it's not about you having a temporary liquidity problems. You have a budgetary problem. You have a lifestyle problem. Okay, so those websites should be used as a last resort. In other words, you have tried with your credit union, you have tried applying with your bank, and they will not accept you. Then you can try to apply with this platforms. Okay, they are okay with you not having any income, but you got to have a bank account. In some cases, they will ask for your bank statements for the last 3 months or 6 months. They might ask for your tax returns. I will talk about the requirements later on, but I want you to really have a clear idea of what we are talking about today. So the first step is you need to have an idea of the lenders. The second step you need to take is you need to have a clear understanding of what emergency loans stand for. So when we talk about emergency loans without income, what does that really mean? This is a big question, okay? And the larger question is, can you get a loan without proof of income? The short answer is yes. Yes. So in general, when you talk about no income loans, you are talking about stated income loan, verified assets, no income loan, verified assets, no income loan, no assets. So basically what I'm telling you here is that you don't want to provide proof of income, but you better provide proof of assets. And remember, assets can be what? It can be cash. It can be your house if it's fully paid off. It can be your car if it's fully paid off. Okay, those are really important things to really think about. So when we talk about no income proof, we're not saying no asset proof. There is a duality here. There are two sides of the same coin. So when we talk about the net worth coin, we are talking about the income coin, the income side rather, and also the asset side. That's the P&L and the balance sheet side. And those two are complementary. Very important. Money, money, money. Money, money, money. Talk to me about money. So you want to have a loan without income proof. Okay. What kind of assets do you have? Do you have cash in your account? Do you have cash value life insurance? Do you have equity in the rental property or other capital investments? Are you receiving lump sum amounts? Do you have ownership of mortgage or deed of trust? Do you have personal property held as an investment? Do you have retirement accounts? Do you have revocable trust? Do you have stocks, bonds, and other financial securities? Those can be considered as assets, okay? And the bottom line is that you can get a job. You can get a loan, rather. You can get a loan without a job. Because when we talk about getting a loan without income proof, the next question can be, can you get a loan without a job? Of course. See, the lender doesn't give a about your revenue. The lender gives a about your cash flows. Are you getting money from somewhere? It doesn't matter if you're not working. Who cares? But are you bringing in the ka-ching? Are you generating income? Are you generating cash flows every month? The money can come from a retirement account or pension, alimony, child support, dividend payments, or other investment income, partner income, royalty payments, side gigs, or a business startup, social security benefits, tip income, unemployment benefits. A lot of things can qualify for cash flows without having a job. I want to talk to you about evidence. So again, I want to contextualize the conversation so you are clear about what we're talking about. I'm talking to you about how to quickly get a large amount at a reasonable APR. Of course, we are talking about emergency loan without income proof. Okay, the framework is really clear here. So let's talk about evidence. What kind of evidence can you provide if you want to get a loan? So one thing for sure, If so, we have two scenarios here. We have someone who has a job, but they just don't have the ability to prove income, and someone who, and that's the first scenario. And the second scenario, you probably in that category, who knows? You are self-employed. So you have to prove your income, okay? Because if you're self-employed, you're not receiving a W-2. Let's face it, boss, all right? So how do you prove that? You can prove actually your income several ways. Bank or credit union statements, copies of Form 1099 miscellaneous, financial statements such as your profit and loss, okay? And your balance sheet, because I was talking to you earlier about the duality of things, assets and income. Okay, big decision time here. Big decision time. If you are self-employed or you have a side gig or you are your own boss and you can't prove income, do you currently have financial statements? Talk to me. Don't look around. I'm talking to you. Do you currently have financial statements? Do you have a P&L, a personal P&L, a personal balance sheet? Do you have those? Do you have your tax returns? Talk to me about your tax returns for the last 3 years. Because the thing is, I don't want you to like, oh, they're not giving me the money because I have tried, I got rejected, blah, 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 blah. No. Have you prepared for it? Do you have solid evidence to give to the lender? Your tax returns for the last 3 years, your bank statements, your credit union statements, or third-party activity statements if you have an online business. From PayPal, for example, from Square, from Stripe. Those could be great if you have to prove income, but you have no way to, you don't have any W-2, you don't have a pay stub, okay? And also, it's important to understand that when we talk about bank or credit union statements, the lender wants to see sources of cash. The lender wants to see, the thing is, you can actually look at somebody's bank statements or credit union statements and actually construct their P&L by looking at cash inflows and cash outflows, okay? Because nobody's using the accrued accounting method for their personal accounting. Everybody's using the cash method of accounting, which means what? It means that your cash inflows and cash outflows are also your expenses and income sources. Okay, so you can construct a P&L using somebody's cash flows from the bank statements or the credit union statements. Talking about cash, I want to really talk to you about cash payments. How can you prove your income if you get paid in cash? Because a lot of people have that problem. So you probably have a job, you're making money, you're taking care of your family, you are paying your expenses, but you're not. But the payments are not made electronically. So basically, you have to prove, because there's no trace, okay? There is no evidence that you are paid. How do you actually prove that? I'm not even going to talk about the tax consequences of that, because as you know, when you receive more than $10,000 in payments, you need to report this to the IRS. But I'm not going to get into the theme here. What I want to say here is that cash payments must be documented if you want to prove them as income. There are several vehicles for doing this, including accounting software or spreadsheets. Lenders prefer accounting software better than spreadsheets, because spreadsheets can be manipulated, can be edited, can be changed at the last minute to suit the requirements for specific needs. But accounting software makes it a lot harder. So that's why they would rather you do things in accounting software. You can prove this also through bank statements. I've said this before. If you are paid in cash, somebody can look at your bank statements or your credit union statements and reconstruct your P&L. They can look at your receipts to prove your income. And you can also use self-generated pay stubs. There are accounting software tools or even templates in Excel that allow you to actually to generate pay stubs yourself. Credit card. Are you making payments? Are you making payments through credit cards? Are you receiving payments from credit card sales, electronic sales? I was talking to you earlier about Stripe, Square, PayPal, their POS, their point of sale systems. So this could be another opportunity. So if you can also take statements from payers, people who are paying you, your clients. They will send you statements, right? Your tax returns also, Okay, this is really good. But by the way, the IRS frowns upon workers who fail to report income, including cash income. So the penalties can range as high as 25% of the amount you owe. So again, this show is not about taxes, so I'm not going to get into this, but I just want to warn you, if you are getting paid in cash, you need to think about Uncle Sam. Very important. Let's talk about your bank, your current bank. So you're just sitting there, you're just wondering, I want to have an emergency loan without income proof, and I want to get a large amount fast, right? I've been talking to you about online lenders and alternative lenders, and the big myth is that banks are risk averse, they are conservative, credit unions are more risk averse, and they're more conservative. That's not totally wrong, but you never know until you try. Have you checked with your current bank or credit union? I mean, if you are looking for an emergency loan, I mean, who knows? You never know. You never know. Give them a call, or even better, go to a branch. You want to sit down with someone and explain your situation, especially if you have been there for a while. This could be a good opportunity because they probably have your transactional history with them. They know exactly what's going on in your account. They see the ins and the outs. They see the inflows and the outflows. This could be a good opportunity to say, listen, I'm just going through a problem right now. I'm just going through some hard times, and I just want an emergency loan. Okay, the bank has the advantage. I mean, the bank and the credit union, or the credit union rather, has the advantage of seeing your deposits, especially if you have a direct deposit with them. They know that you are working. They know that you are making money every 2 weeks or every week or whatnot, or every month. Okay, they can see how long you have been with them. This counts. This counts. Relationship counts. History counts. And again, you don't want to do things online. Do not apply for an emergency loan online. You want to go to a branch, or you want to call up the customer service number. Okay, it's very important. And who knows? As I said earlier, you never know until you try. The bank or a credit union might offer you a cheaper APR. Okay, and in some cases, they might ask for collateral. In other words, if you don't want to prove income, they might want you to pledge the loan. This is what I was just telling you earlier about the duality about balance sheet and income statement, with income statement being income and the balance sheet being the asset side. So if you don't want to prove income, the bank will say, listen, okay, let's take care of the balance sheet. Let's take care of your assets. Please pledge your assets. So I just want to tell you that you have to be aware of that possibility, so that when you go to a branch and you start having a conversation, you're not surprised about their proposal. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. We are still having I'm very passionate about this topic because it's, everybody goes through problems, okay? Every now and then you have things you're going through, financial straits. You need to get some cash, and you want to apply for a loan the proper way. This is important, the proper way. So you need to know the requirements of an emergency loan. So when we talk about the requirements of an emergency loan, we are speaking about the credit score and history. Most of the times, they really don't care too much about the credit score and history because the loan's APR is already high. Think about it, as high as 36%. I mean, they will tell you 35.99%, but whatever. This is 36%, and it goes from the APR goes from 6% to 36%. And in some cases, they might ask for income, but in this case, no. They will want to see your debt to income ratio. But again, since you're not providing the income itself, then the debt to income ratio is not really, it's not possible to calculate that unless you are able to state your income. In other words, you don't have to prove it, but you can state it. You can say, okay, I'm making 45 grand a year, or I'm making 60 grand a year, but I don't have the proof because I'm self-employed. Okay, money. And so the thing here is that if you want to have if you want to get this emergency loan, you need to think about collateral. Okay, money, collateral can be money. It can be another asset. It can be your car, your fully paid car, your fully paid house, whatever it is. It can be jewelry also. It can be precious metals, whatever you just, whatever it is that you actually store at your house. This could be a problem. This could be not a problem. This could be used as collateral. Okay. And in terms of, you want to think about proof of identity. So the lender might ask you for a driver's license or other state issued ID, your passports, your certificate of citizenship, in some cases, your military ID, okay? Or if you don't have pay stubs, they might ask you for your returns, your W-2s and 1099s if applicable, and your bank statements, okay? So this is important. And they might want to ask you, they can ask you for some contact information for your payers, people who are paying you. I mean, you must be generating income somehow. So they just want to have a clear idea of who those payers are. Before I close to this conversation, folks, I want you to really understand that when I talk about emergency loans without income proof, there are some alternative loans. You can have payday loans, pawn shop loans, quick loans, instant loans. One thing I want to say is that all those loans should be a last resort. Those are not good loans. They're not. They're not because their APR is crazily high. You don't want to be in that space. But again, life happens. You got to go through stuff. Everybody goes through stuff. So if you have to get a loan, make sure that you are choosing one that actually has an APR as low as possible, if there's such a thing as a low APR for payday loans or emergency loans or pawn shop loans. Those are just predatory lenders. But again, we're not really blaming them because they are there to actually fill a space to meet demand. They're just doing their job in a capitalistic society. But it's up to you. I'm talking to you right now. Right now, if you are going through financial straits and you happen to apply for and be approved for a payday loan or an emergency loan or a pawn shop loan or a quick loan or instant loan, please do me a favor. You want to repay that loan as soon as possible, because the APR again is just crazily high. And those lenders are just they're just taking advantage of you. But again, they have this is a free democracy, it's a free speech. Everybody got to do stuff, okay? What you want to do is, if you don't want to prove you don't want to prove your income, you can seek a loan with collateral. That way, you are able to actually reduce the APR, because the lender is comfortable knowing that if something happens to the loan and you're not repaying the amount, they can repo the assets. So those could be great possibilities, okay? And at the end of the day, if you get an emergency loan without income proof, please review your promissory note deeply. You want to have an in-depth review of your promissory note. I'm not asking you to read legalese and understand right away, but you want to pay attention to things like terms, the APRs, the maturity term. This is important. The loan amount itself, the interest rate. If they have a constellation of fees, pay attention to those fees also. All right, folks, this is it for today's conversation. I was just talking to you about emergency loans without income proof. How do you get a quick and large one? I spoke to you about the lenders. I gave you a definition, the evidence needed, the cash payments, the current bank, the requirements, the alternatives to this kind of loan. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.